Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. If it's been 3.5 hours since you last ate protein and now you're starting to freak out, you are old school. If watching someone sit on a hammer machine for 5 minutes between sets playing with their phone pisses you off, you are definitely old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
You're funny.
Like I said, do you like my tail? Like I said.
Priest and I are joined today again by Guy Grundy, who almost died the other day. So we wanted to find out what happened and how he's doing. So welcome back to the show, Guy.
It's good to be back, mate. There was a chance I wasn't going to be.
G'day, mate. G'day,
mate. So guys, this is how Lee is. I come on and I'm about to give you the news that I give you, and Lee goes, "Wow, you look worse than I thought." There was more power left, unit.
I was just happy they let you keep the hospital gown. That's all.
Yeah, then nice. He said, "I'll let you eat."
Lee said, "Guy, look, he just got out of the hospital with the hospital gown on." I actually said he looked like Tony Soprano. He liked my comment better though than Lee's.
And I want you to know that I'm supporting the Smurfs today because Blue Lives Matter, and Gargamel and his cat Azrael are very mean to the Smurfs. Today Smurfs Lives Matter. And I still wonder what that Smurfette was getting up to with all those guys in that village. Fucking boom, 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 boom. She had blue flaps.
Lee told me prior to the show that he. Are we allowed to announce what you're doing this coming week?
Yeah, next week, yeah.
Lee is going to be on the Adam Carolla podcast, which is, it's pretty interesting I have a story about that because I remember Howard Stern years ago, probably 10 years ago, interviewing Adam Carolla, who's a comedian, and Adam said that I'm starting my own podcast, and Howard's like, "Why are you doing that?" He goes, "You could be on radio. I'll get you a job in Sirius." He goes, "Nah." He goes, "I want to do my own podcast. I think that's the future of interviews. I could do it in my house. I don't have to go anywhere." And he was almost like Howard was like almost like embarrassed for him that he had to do his own. Now he's got he's got a very popular podcast. How did they find you, Lee, to do that show?
No idea, Dave. My name just spans bounds and galaxies. My name will go on forever as much as people hate me. So I don't know how Adam Carolla, found out about me.
What topic are you? What are they even asking you on the show?
Oh, I think this one was just going to be about just bodybuilding and how I started, like an inspirational type one. But he does have another one where he gets a panel of guests in where they discuss all things politics and woke culture and cancel culture. Wait till I get on that one. You better do the other interview. You better do the bodybuilding interview first. They may not have you back after the political discussion. Because when I get on the other one, that could be Adam Carolla's last show.
Yeah, might be. Although he's pretty politically out there as well. So, I would have to say that I'm sure they'll welcome your opinion.
Yeah. Enough about me. Come on, Dave. Look, Guy almost died last week.
Come on. Tell us the story. What happened, Guy? We just had you on it. We had you on 2 weeks ago.
The things Guy
How do you die
in
2 weeks?
Let's just work this out, all right? I'm about to tell you a story that makes me a hero and a strong man and everything, and Lee's overshadowing me with a guest appearance on another show.
I know, right?
Well, you had to kill yourself to get back on here. Come on, let's go on.
Death trumps everything. Remember that.
I'll do anything to get a view.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to hear it from me first because, I've got like 3 fans out there and you guys aren't going to talk.
I'm one of them, yeah.
So I had this is not what I call it. The doctors call it. I had a massive heart attack. And as you can see, I'm still alive. I'm still doing well. I'm home recovering. And so basically,
I don't want to cut you off here. But when doctors say a massive heart attack, how's that any worse to a normal heart attack?
Because
to me, a heart attack's pretty bad. So it's like, but this is a massive one.
You're usually
a massive man with massive muscles, so you had a massive heart attack.
Right, but Lee, when you hear massive heart attack, don't you think of like the guy just like losing consciousness in the middle of a restaurant and then taking an ambulance?
Just boom.
Because that's how I think of a massive heart attack.
Carry on.
You actually walked into the hospital, right?
Well, could someone let me tell my story?
All right, tell a story.
No.
Sorry. You're right. Lee rudely interrupted
He's going to have another
I
heart
jumped
attack,
on the
Dave.
bandwagon.
He's going to have another heart attack live. Go.
We'll be like, what happened to the guy? Where'd he go, Lee? I think his connection cut off. Meanwhile, he's laying on the floor. Yeah.
So as a few people know, I've been shooting a movie called Maverick and Grundy, and it's been basically the dream of my life to do that and be work with so many talented actors and get all these locations, and just so many things were going well for me that on the 22nd of December I had a massive heart attack. Okay, there's Dorian's back and then there's Fleck's back. Dorian had a massive back.
Gotcha.
This ain't no ordinary heart attack. Us Aussies go big.
Yeah, but it's a better way of saying it, Lee.
Yeah.
Like Arnold putting on the fucking 20s and banging them hard. I'm banging them as hard as I can.
Yeah. When Grundy has a heart attack, it's like coming. It's coming all the time. It's just like boom.
Were you doing any drugs, stimulants, or not sleeping?
Oh, Dave, why are you going to go there?
Well, I want to know the reason.
Why?
We're about the truth here.
No. If anything, I was just taking a lot of caffeine, which was basically making everything worse, but giving me the energy to go. So
yeah,
I was at the gym training, and I got like what I thought was I've had problems for a while, and I've been functioning at less and less capabilities, whatever you want to call it. And I had this little pain in the chest, and long story short, I'm driving home from the gym, and it's just getting worse and worse. And you look at the movies, I base a lot of things off movies because I watch a lot of movies. You have these bad heart attacks, you pull to the left, your arm gets all tight. I'm just getting a lot of real tight pain in the chest, like really bad. But this may be hard for people to understand. If I went to the hospital, I couldn't finish shooting my movie. So I was prepared to die for it because it meant everything to me. Some people don't get that. That's not important to me.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know my thing. My daughter's 18. This is everything. I'm here. I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm never going to get this opportunity again.
Right.
So to get to the head of the question, why didn't I do anything sooner? Because I was going to finish my movie. If I died before it, to me, it's
because Australians are idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
Yeah. I concur.
Thank you, Lee. Vouchers for me. And then I was at home with my wife sitting over here, and I'm a bodyguard as well as the acting. Actually, I'm a bodyguard who acts. And then I'm just feeling terrible, like something's wrong, I know it. And then I couldn't put my jacket on because I was too hot. So I put on a tank top, a wife beater, whatever one wants to call it.
Right.
And within 2 minutes, I just was saturated with water. And I was like, this is not good. And I don't want to upset my wife, so I'm going to get out of the house. I drove to work, apparently having heart attacks. Thankfully, it was a bodybuilding job, guarding job, where I sat in front of my client's house and just provided surveillance and did a monitor.
Right.
So I guess what they're telling me, the pain to me was a 9. So I knew it was wrong, but again, I'm not going to say anything. So I sat there for like 8 hours just breathing.
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's amazing that you didn't die. Thank God.
Yeah, and so
hold on, Dave, don't cut him off. Can you go back to the breathing again? I like excited.
Lee's getting excited.
Lee. I'm breathing deep, bro. And it's true. If anything saved my life, it was my ability to, I've had my life almost taken many a time, so I'm very calm, but breathing, and it's from my bodybuilding and from my fighting and training, just always knowing 3 big breaths before I do anything else. So as soon as I'd get these attacks, I could literally watch my heart rate at 220, which it was, bring it down to like 160 in like 6 seconds. So that's what I was doing. And I knew I had a problem. Then for the next 5 days, I was so depressed and so anxiety.
Hold on, you didn't go to the hospital after that? After work?
I went the next day I went to urgent care, and I was feeling terrible, but this is on me, not on them. I convinced myself that I had indigestion problems.
Because a lot of times a heart attack will disguise itself as indigestion, and vice versa. Yeah.
And of course, I'm Googling it, as we all do, to find out. So I go in there, they look at how big I am, I'm healthy. They're doing this little check on my heart, and they say to me, do you want to do an EKG? Now, it's on me that I said no. Because I knew if they did, I was screwed. So I leave there feeling good about myself that I have gone to the doctor, but I'm not leaving with a heart attack. I'm leaving with GERDs and indigestion problems. I went home, And just, it was probably the worst 5 days of my life. And in my head still, I'm blaming the medication for having the worst depression of my life and these anxiety attacks, which weren't anxiety attacks. It was my heart pounding out of my chest.
So you basically had a 5-day heart attack, basically.
Yeah. And then I didn't treat it. So then I've shot my movie. And by the end of my movie, guys, my cameraman's saying to me, Brandon Rose, I love you. Bro, you got to move away from the camera because I'm just...
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
And then I have to do fight scenes, and then I get kneed real. Like, it was the last day of shooting was just one of my proudest days because it was one of my hardest days where I got a multi-million-dollar location at a hotel, had 40 actors there, Maverick's back from his problem. So it was the greatest day of my life. But after that, everything just went downhill.
Right.
And I made appointments to see everybody, but of course I didn't go. And then God just said to me, he gave me another heart attack.
You're trying to be like Brandon Lee going out on your big movie.
Hey, well, that's another thing. And I'm thinking if I die, people are going to at least watch the movie.
The weird guy, the funny thing is you probably could have taken one nitroglycerin pill and you probably would have been 100% better, you know.
Say it again, buddy.
You could have taken one nitroglycerin pill under your tongue. You would have been probably fine.
Yeah, I have no idea on that. I didn't have none of that.
Well, that's what they give you. You were having angina pain, obviously. You weren't really having a heart attack. You were having, your heart was starving for oxygen. So you were probably...
He was having what? He was having what? Vagina pain?
No, not vagina pain. Angina pain.
Oh, bad connection again. Sorry,
it's unfortunate that your brain works that way, Lee. Yeah. Everything's about vaginas.
So this is how. No, I had a heart attack, and I can prove it. So I've got these pains, and the worst thing is, guys, I've got no energy, so I'm drinking all these energy drinks and popping all these caffeine because I was.
Oh my God!
Like perfect storm. I'm just pushing myself. I've got to take one more, and I can.
Did you have any cocaine? Any cocaine as well?
No, trust me.
This is like that movie. Remember about Bob Fosse? That the one that Roy Scheider was in. What was that movie that they made about? He was the Broadway producer of the. Oh shoot, that was a great movie.
Fosse.
Yeah, I see. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
What the hell was that movie?
Dave's going back to his silly movies. Just agree with Dave Grundy.
Guy watches movies. He should know the movie I'm talking about. It's a classic.
We don't watch gay movies, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, sorry. We don't watch gay porn and we don't watch gay movies. We don't hate on gay people. We don't watch their work.
Oh, okay.
No, but we appreciate it.
we appreciate it. So finally, it's just got to the point that I get up in the morning and I put on my tights and I'm going to the gym, and I literally can't put my tights on, but I've got to do legs too. So basically, this would be my last workout. And I'm like, what a great story to do legs. So finally, I can't. Yeah, finally, I can't do it. I just don't tell my wife. I go to the urgent care and I go in there and they do my heart test this time because I'm bad. And when people are wearing masks, you really notice the eyes. So they look at my EKG like this. The other doctors are walking in and they're going, "You're not in more pain, Mr. Grundy." So they say to me, so the comedy is, I've now Googled it while I'm waiting, and my new diagnosis is I'm anemic because these are all the symptoms. Oh. So I'm like, I think I'm having a heart attack, but I think I'm anemic. They come back and they go, well, the good news is your hemoglobin's like 19. It's like 4 too high than it's supposed to be. That brings up, do you take steroids? No, I didn't, by the way, because I've been off. So no. And so anyone knows I had words with the doctors because they'd all say it. Did you take steroids? Do you know anything about them before we talk about them? Asking me stupid questions. And they go,
you sound like me.
I took 4 mils of Duga Dagan every 2 hours because the Duga, get out of here. Get out.
By the way, the movie's called All That Jazz. Now I've remembered it.
All That Jazz, everybody. It's I think
you should, Guy, seriously? Seriously, Guy? Guy. Lee, shut up for a second.
And all that jazz.
Yeah.
All that jazz.
Quiet down for a second, Lee. Guy, I want you to watch All That Jazz, and then
I'm gonna kill him.
I want you to report back to me after you watch that movie. It's the story of your life.
Oh,
all right,
that's
Dave.
You'll have another heart attack watching the movie. I'm telling you.
But before you do that, get some dandelion tea, put on a bright pink top, stick a dildo up your ass, and enjoy all that jazz, because that's how you have to watch it.
That's Thursdays in the US.
All right.
You mix it.
All right,
have your wife penetrate you with that dildo in the ass.
Hold on. Let's go back to the hospital. Go back to the hospital now. You're in the hospital with the heart attack, right?
It's going to be the funniest heart attack fucking story. I'm getting no.
Thank God he made it.
What it is actually sad.
Guy, can you imagine if Lee and I are having this conversation and you actually died?
I lost 2 friends last week, and this is a sad story. I could have lost the third, so I'm trying to bring humor to it.
Oh, I got you.
Well, you're doing a great fucking job.
Thank you.
So I go in there and they do this. Are you in pain? I said, yeah, it's probably like an 8 out of 10. For me, that's pretty bad. He goes, well, you've had a massive heart attack. Part of your heart's dead already, and the other part's about to die. There's like 5% left. You need to go to the ER. And I'm like, so this is the thought process that goes through my head. So people understand.
I've still got 5%.
I got some time. It was actually 10%. I got some time. Where in my head, I'm like, I'm wearing tights. I can't go to the ER in tights. That's not cool. So I've got to go home.
Because it's cold. It's cold in there. You don't want to get shrinkage on the table.
It looked a little girly wearing little. I didn't feel good if I died in tights. I didn't feel good about it.
They look at you on the table and they go, I bet this fucker watched all that jazz before he died.
So what did you do?
So they tell me that I've got to go to the ER. So I drive home. I'm struggling to get there. I don't say anything to my wife. I swear to God, I had a bowl of oatmeal, a banana, strawberries, and a protein shake in water. And then I packed a whole lot of protein bars, put my fan in my military bag with my wallet. I haven't told my wife. Went out
put on my Calvin Klein.
If I'm going out after smoking a joint.
So you're smoking a joint too? Oh my God.
Did you put on your Calvin Klein?
He's got to watch all that jazz. I'm telling you. You're gonna.
Yeah. So then I
Calvin Klein boxers on and went back.
I was wearing my boxers. I showered. You know, I put the nice 24 proof because I figured I'd be in there for maybe 12 hours. 8 days later, I'm still was in there. So I drive there, and I tell you what, I parked my car, and when I was driving there, I had another big one. And I was almost done. I'm almost done. I'm like, and in my head, I've got such a big fucking ego in my head. I go, there's no way they're going to find me in the middle of fucking Wilshire Boulevard, fucking dribbling like a child. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Hold on. In all seriousness, Guy, and seriously, did you think you were going to die at this point? Did you have any thoughts, maybe I'm not going to make it?
No, I didn't. I believe I've still got, sounds weird, I've got work to do, but if I died now, I've got a problem with God because I've had nothing but a hard life. Like, this can't be the end of my life. But on top of that,
it is. God hates you.
This is the proof of it right here.
Hold on. I'm just talking to him. What do you want me to tell him? Okay. He said you're fucked. He said, see you soon.
Let me tell them. Let me finish the interview. So,
hey, hold on. God told me your wife was the one that caught him and said, "Take this fucker."
I wouldn't believe my wife's been taking such good care of me. So what's happened with my heart is because I didn't that big massive heart attack. You got 1, 2. This is real basic that I understand it. 1, 2, 3. Heart, like valves in your heart. The middle one's the most important one. Thankfully for me, that's abnormally strong. One could say it's actually massively strong, Lee, but we'll go with ultra strong.
That's the mitral valve.
Ultra.
This one over here, it's dead. It's gone. And it's like, it's not coming back. It's not good. And the one over here was running at 10%. It was 90% blockage. So they basically the middle part was so strong, it was able to pull blood from.
So you're talking about your coronary arteries, not your valves. You're talking about your arteries in the heart.
I'm talking about the fucking 3 things that I'm talking about that are right there that I was told.
The 3 arteries, the coronary arteries that feed your heart. That's what you're talking about.
Thank you, Dr. Dave.
Well, he's talking about valves. He's not really talking about valves. He's talking about the coronary arteries that feed his heart.
Anyone that watches this,
I'm trying to let the viewers know what the frick you're talking about.
Hey, listen, our viewers.
Hold on a sec. Let me just look in my medical journal for that. Hold on a sec, please.
Someone's got
your journal.
Our viewers aren't
David,
that smart.
You are correct. It is an artery. It's not a valve. Thank you for correcting while I was telling you about my heart attack story.
Well, if you were having a heart attack, it would be a different story. I'm assuming you're not having another heart attack.
Why are you there, Guy? I want to know. Did they save the cat?
You've always got to save the cat, Lee. One of the greatest script writing books of all time, but we'll talk about that another time. Right now, I would like
long.
All right, so hold on. When you have a massive heart attack, what do they do for you at that point?
Well, when I went in, they were just. So when I went in there, they put me on a heap of medication. First thing is, guys, you walk in. I've never had such service.
They take you right away. Yeah.
But bro, I'm walking along. I park my car, and this guy comes up to me, real nice guy, and like a brother says, "Hey man, they gave me the wrong order. You want a coffee?" I said I would normally take it, but I'm having a heart attack. I swear to God, because all I'm thinking in my head, if I'm going to die, being in a good mood or a bad mood, and I want to be a cool dude. I want people to go, "You're a fun person," and plus. That's just who I am, the waking life. So I'm walking in and I just walk in there and the guy says to me, "Can I help you?" I said, "I've had a massive heart attack that I'm currently having." And he goes, "Man, go inside." I just keep repeating it. And I'm just like taken into this new world of tests and everything and and then everyone does the initial test and then they all start moving around you real quick and ordering people.
Well, Blackman used to tell me, Lee, if you ever go to the emergency room, tell them you're having a heart attack. They take you right in.
I do all the time. Every time I go to John Hunter, I walk in, there's like 50 people waiting. They say, "What are you here for?" I said, "I got this real tightness here. I can't breathe." And that they say, "Sit there." 2 minutes later, Lee Priest come in. Everyone's sitting there. And I know there's people that know me. They go, "That fucking cunt Lee gets special treatment. Look at him." As soon as he walks in, they take him straight in. I tell them all the time. Because years ago when I had cardiomyopathy, it's on my records. So when I say it now, they just go, "Look up my records." "Oh, yes, we'll be with you in a second." And I go, they do the tests, and I'm fine.
That didn't happen to me.
So they put IVs in you and stuff?
And then I go to the specialist again yesterday, and he's such a cool guy, but he's looking at the reports again. He's just like, "You should be dead." And what do you say to that? "Oh, thanks."
Yeah,
I
right, exactly.
Say to that. You have an enlarged heart, and I'm like, "Thanks, doc." He goes, "This is not a compliment."
I have lots of love.
Guy, what do they want to do for you? What could they do for you at this point with these certain parts of your heart that are not working anymore?
8 days. 8 days. You're in hospital.
Yeah, I was in the ICU for 8 days, and that's a funny story how I got there. But
they probably let me guess. They probably wheeled you in. Is that how you got there? They wheeled you in. Is that how you got there? I'm just going out on
myself. I said
I'm going out on a limb.
In the ICU.
Give me those paddles.
So my big problem is now I've got a defibrillator in here.
Right.
It's like I'm a bionic man right now. So I've got that in there, which is hard to accept, but you got to accept shit. So I've accepted it, but it still upsets me and whatever.
So does that go off like when your heart slows down? Does it like boom give you a shock?
No, when it goes too fast.
Yeah, they call it if it goes below a certain level, it just, like you said, it just shocks it again. And then I haven't needed it, but the problem with me is my heart goes V-tacking. So like the highest it went was 220. So this is how I ended up in the ICU. My regular doctor comes to see me. I've got all these specialists and they're making me feel good. You're fine. You're a strong young man. We've never seen anything like you. What a great physique. I'm like, these fucking guys are the best cheering squad. I love them. And they
always say nice shit before you're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't care if I was going to die. Man, it's like never got this appreciation before. I didn't care if they were lying. So my doctor comes in and they're all around me and he just starts talking to me and he talks like this. Like, he could give you $1 million or tell you you're dead, and he's going to use the same fucking voice. Like, so annoying. So I'm there with my heart rate at like 75. And then he starts talking, and then he starts bringing up to me transplants. He's talking about heart transplants, and I'm looking at him going, what? I just accepted that I've got a bad heart. Now you're giving me a heart transplant? So as he's talking about me, my heart rate's going up to 220, where I'm going into VTAC.
Oh, no.
And the comedy is everyone is running around the bed. I'm there in Zen state going, and this motherfucker's still telling me about the heart transplant. Even when I'm finished, he's still telling me. I looked at him, I said, you need to go and never come back. And then I complained. I said, he told me I have to have a heart transplant. And he goes, no. And then another guy walks in, and I hadn't slept for 3 days, and they bring in all the people. And I was very friendly, and you could do whatever you want. I didn't care. But I hadn't slept, so I woke up, and the guy's talking to me about putting the thing in my chest, but he's talking to me about life insurance. So I think the motherfucker's trying to sell me life insurance.
Oh, my God.
While my wife's in the room, and I'm like, how dare you? You and your peasants, get the fuck out of here. And then someone said, no, he meant it's a form of life insurance having it in there because it can restart you. Oh, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Your wife's like, yes, I would like life insurance. What's he worth? 20 cents? How much are we going to get out of this motherfucker if he drops dead?
After having a massive heart attack, no one's giving you life insurance. Don't worry about it. So.
Oh, that's gone.
So what? So the heart transplant is off? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Apparently it's off for now. I'm basically home for another month of just being at home. I can't drive because of this in here. You've just got to be cautious about that, which sucked. I found that out yesterday. I thought I was going to be going back. I thought I'm going back to work. Everything's fine. Like I said, I wasn't going to tell anyone till I'm in the ICU and they go, you need to tell someone. I said, I'm not telling. I'm angry at my wife. I'm not telling anyone. All right.
So he texts me and I go, how you going, guy? He goes, I'm almost dead.
Well, call me back when you're feeling better, Grundy.
Well,
yeah,
what?
I'm watching a movie right now. Thanks for the text.
Let me ask you this question: what are you actually recovering from now? The surgery to put the defibrillator in?
Yeah, the defibrillator, which is just they cut you open and stick a
have one. I know.
In there.
Yeah.
You've got one.
Yeah.
So.
Twins.
But you know what?
Wonder Twin powers activate.
So what do you have to be what do you have to be concerned about now in terms of exertion and stuff like that with your heart?
Basically, just do everything slowly. Like let my body build up, let it get stronger.
Yeah.
And when I talked to the doc about my plan, he said it's the best one ever, which is basically just being a little bodybuilder. So doing my cardio with my exercise bike, that's the easiest thing on me, and just sticking with weights, primarily machines, because it's easier on my injuries and I don't have to pack things on. So basically just follow which was what I'm looking forward to getting in really good shape. So, and I can still do all that. With the action stuff and everything, I'm told I can still do everything the same, but the reality is now I've got like...
I'll be a stunt double then if that's what you're asking.
Hold on, but Guy, how come they didn't... Do you have any blockages in those coronary arteries still? Didn't they want to stent them? Or?
No, the other one was 90% blocked. They put a balloon through it and it's got a shunt in there now. So I'm basically... The middle one of the artery you talked about is perfect, and this one here is good. But this is the worst thing.
I got a serious question for Guy. Look, I don't often.
Can you let him finish what he's saying?
I'm going to give you a serious question first. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yep. Knowing now that you have the defibrillator in, and you see Dave has a defibrillator in, and you see how Dave looks, do you wish you had died? Serious question.
Now that you put it that way, I'm not feeling as good about myself.
Death is never a good option. Remember that.
Fuck Lee, I'm Iron Man over here. It's just moved across a little
That's
bit.
what I tell my kids. I tell my kids I'm Iron Man. That's all. You know.
Okay, back to Guy.
But I didn't have a massive heart attack. That's the difference.
This was Lee's funny. It's all good. The worst experience of my life was this. I'm claustrophobic, real claustrophobic. Oh. So basically, to go into my heart, they've got to go in. They go in through. I sent you pictures, Dave. People will see how it's swollen.
The black and blue groin.
Most swollen my groin's ever been.
You know what? You could have snipped those pubes a little bit. You know, there's a little bit of It's a little pornographic, the picture.
That was actually after they shaved them, bro. Imagine, I'm a married man, bro. No one cares about that. I don't even know it's down there anymore.
You got to trim it up down there a little bit, you know?
So they basically are going in through my groin, and they've got me on the bed in the big operating room, and they've gone through both sides, and the surgeon's there, and I'm tied down, and I'm supposed to be put asleep because my blood pressure's so low. I have to stay awake.
Oh my God.
So I'm awake in restraints. You ready for this? With things going up my groin, feeling it in my chest, looking in the monitor for 4 hours.
Oh, man.
Last weekend I was in straits tied down with things going up my anus, and I quite enjoyed it. For 3 hours. That's a different story, though, but back to you.
I don't think quarters, dildos, or anything are helping my story, brother.
No.
And I'm just sitting there, and it's just watching. It was just because you can't move. You're held down. It's just, that was one of the worst. And then I had an hour and 20-minute MRI. Like, it's just everything that I don't suggest heart attacks.
So they did the MRI before the defibrillator, obviously, right? Yeah,
MRI to just see what the damage is,
right.
And then the big surgery, which was 4 hours,
right?
And then I was supposed to, so and then the defibrillator was put in. I went to see the doctor today. He said my heart raced again, which is I knew when it did, so I guess it kind of went off again. So basically now it's just, I see another doctor on Friday, then I've got another month of rest, and I can train lightly. I'm working on my script. So yeah, I don't advise having heart attacks to people. And then if people say to me, what should you do if you're having that? That's up to you, man. Like when people say, run to the doctor, I do not regret not going. Some people will hate on me, and I seriously don't care. That I made a decision no matter what, and I would have died for it. So a lot of people won't understand that, but that's just something that was me, and I was more than fine. But the other thing for me is, I don't think death, the worst death is to me is a big sleep. And my life's been so bad in so many times, I've just wanted to sleep. So I'm like, that's the worst it is, because I don't believe death's better than that. So I think the fact that I'm not scared to die and that I had something to live for makes it easier, where I could go out and I kept thinking, the doctor said, you are the funniest person every single nurse of 8 days, and you've got 3 different, I was just telling them stories, being nice. So I'm proud of myself that at my worst possible time, I was a good bloke. So if I had have died, he was a nice bloke going out, but now maybe my movie does well, and then they get to see me and go, oh, he was a good bloke when he came in. So
you probably should have faked your own death, Guy. Probably the movie would have done a lot better if you would have.
Oh,
people
bro,
think you're dead.
Let's wait for the comments at the bottom.
They probably said we're glad he's dead, so we can't make a fucking part 2 to that piece of shit.
They can't make the sequel, yeah.
I would like to make the official announcement that Mr. Lee Priest will be appearing, making a cameo in number 1.
Oh,
and,
really?
Number 2 and number 3, which I'm working on now.
Wow.
So if we can get him over here to film on set, we're doing that.
Can you get that? Can you get that done quick before you die? Because I really want to. I don't want to have to be. I don't want to pretend I'm talking to you and they do a CGI of you and I have to pretend you're there and I'm crying because I know you're not really there because you're dead.
What's that? I'm doing that thing that Dave did, but I've got the guy when the guy's dead and they keep him alive on the boat.
Like Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah,
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. Weekend at Lee's.
So,
Guy gets there, he's on the set, and Guy dies, and Lee's like, can we pretend that he's alive and just finish the scene at least?
Yeah, just sitting there like this, and I'll just move him. I'll just change my accent. But, hey, Dave, this is what we've got to do from now on, because, Guy's Australian. We should try to get Guy on once a week, because with that thing in him and that, I really think he's fucked. He could be going soon, so let's try to get him on once a week if we can.
You know what? I'm getting chest pain just doing this interview. I got to be honest with you.
Jesus. He's having a heart attack.
I'm getting a heart attack right now just listening.
Hold it, Dave. I'm coming, brother.
You know what? You know what, Guy? We're making a big joke about this, but the truth is, it is bothering me because, you know what? I really do like you, and you're a really good guy, and I know you got a lot still to give back to us. And you're making a joke about it, but this was serious. I mean, you could have been dead. So I think the take-home message is if you do have those signs, don't do what you did. Go to the hospital immediately. You're lucky that your body just was able to adapt. because anyone else would have been out of here. That's it. It would have been over for them. So it's a miracle you're here, really.
Go along with what Dave said. I'm just I understand the seriousness of it. My boss Maverick had to talk to me, and he sat me down, and I get emotional now when I understand the significance. And then dealing with this, then dealing with then you come to a realization that I've been a physical man all my life, and I'm not the same man physically that I once was, and I may never be again. That these little things are things as a man, so people know that I'm deep, and I know how far I pushed myself. I know that if I had have gone to the doctor sooner, I would be better. So as Dave said, don't be a Grundy. I'm an anomaly. I'm a bit of a meathead. I'm all these things that people say, but I'm proud of me. And
you're Australian. You're Australian. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't have done it any different. I love my story.
You're an actor. You're an actor. You said you're getting emotional. Let's do this again, but with a bit more tears, please. A bit more tears. Roll again.
Sometimes I just want.
This is it. Good. That's it. Feel it. That's it. Feel it.
Will I be doing bluff porn movies with Dave Palumbo to get money? Or doing them with Lee?
I'm much better than Dave. I've still got a good ticker.
I'll bring the quarters.
Ooh.
Just think, Lee.
So on a positive note, I am going to be getting involved with people that have suffered heart conditions and whatnot. I've always, at first, mainly I like to do the band.
Just talk to Dave. Just talk to Dave every day.
You know what? If Guy drops dead after this show, Lee, we could say we had the last interview with him at least.
Oh yeah, that'll get good views.
Yeah.
Hey, Guy, just fake it.
Maybe I should hold this interview for like a week or so to see if he actually makes it for the next
come
week.
on, Dave. Give him 2 weeks at least.
All
You've
right,
got to say goodbye to people. Hey, but I want to end on a line.
By the way, Lee, by Guy, if you actually need a heart transplant, Lee is more than happy to give you his heart.
I'll take it. It's a big heart.
They'll put him on one of those iron lung machines, and he'll just stay on that for the rest of his life.
My heart already beats for Guy, so he knows that. But this is what I want to know on a lighter note here, because I did some study during the week before Guy was coming on, so we changed the subject. But this is something I want you to know about the American government. This is like, while you're in hospital and all these, you see these money and your hospitals could be better. I have a list here. I'm just going to read you quickly of what the American government gives grants to, okay? $800,000 to study if Japanese quails are more sexually active on cocaine. $500,000 to see if the Panama frog call, the mating call, is different in the city compared to the country. This is like stuff that... $30,000 on Nigeria to see their gambling habits. $500,000 for a video game app, which is about climate change. $700,000 where they got these people to watch Neil Armstrong standing when he landed on the moon, to listen to it over and over. Did he say for all mankind or for a man? All man, a man. $700,000 grant.
How much?
$700,000 for people to sit there and listen to that. We're in the wrong business. Get a grant going.
I'll do that.
You should get a grant for like heart study. $500,000 to study if taking a selfie of you smiling and then when you look at it, if it makes you happy. $500,000.
It depends on the selfie.
$1.3 million to study if insects, if you see a human, and would you eat it? And ants, and if you eat ants, would eating ants combat climate change? $1.3 million someone got for this study, and here's the last one. $1.5 million to study. This comes into fitness here, so it's fitness related. To study lizards on a treadmill to see how their joints move under an X-ray. Here we got Guy having a heart attack. Hey, Guy, I'm going to get the American government to give me $1 million just to study you, to see how long a guy can go during the week while having a massive heart attack. How long does it take before he can drop?
He's still going.
No, Guy, here's my final question for you.
They're giving the money to quails fucking on cocaine and Panama frogs doing mating calls. I can at least get $2 million for you to see how long a massive heart it takes to kill someone.
Here's my question. I got a question. I got a legitimate question here. This might be the last question of the show.
Legitimate. We don't do.
How do they know? How do they know that you've had more than one massive heart attack and that it wasn't just one long heart attack?
Oh my God.
because when they did the EKG, the damage that was done on the first artery was so huge, and it showed that it had scarring. That was the big
scarring.
word.
Okay, all right.
I had heaps and heaps of scarring.
Which means you could have had it a year ago, for all they knew.
I think I've had smaller and smaller ones that were indications of doing it, and I had pain. The big one was December 22nd, and then I just did what I could do to get through it. I did interviews with you on that.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was, and it's you know what, us as bodybuilders, it gives us such a strong mindset and pain difficulty because we compete and we're pushing ourselves, we're lifting the same weights. We get a real strong mentality. So I think that's one of the, when, you think bodybuilding's this and that, but one thing of bodybuilding gives you over any other sport is just that mentality of when it hurts, it's good.
Right.
Like when people start with,
and it gives you scar tissue.
It gives you scar tissue.
But it's a thing though. When I had my cardiomyopathy and my thing wasn't properly, I had a bit of pain, but the main thing I felt was just the breathing, like something heavy was on my chest. I was like, I could still breathe, but it just felt like some pressure. But then doctors always say to you, do you get chest pain? I'm thinking, yeah, because I fucking train chest twice a week. Of course I got chest pain. I said I wouldn't know if I was having a heart attack or not because my chest is always sore. And if I did arms the next day, I got pain going down my fucking right arm, left arm. I got fucking everything. I had to get a contract from Blackman. I got fucking pain in my glutes. I got pain everywhere. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just a mess. And then like you, I go on Dr. Google. Have you ever done Dr. Google where you get that I got a pain in my stomach. Let me see. By the time I finish with Google, I got bowel cancer, pancreatic cancer. I got fucking every symptom they tell me I've got. And I'm thinking, everything's cancer.
Everything, if you Google it to the core,
it's death.
It's cancer. That's just where you're going. My friend walks into me at the gym while I'm going through all this. Big Mike, I love him, and he's like, tells me he's sick and that, and I'm looking at him and I'm breathing heavy, but I'm like, is this a doctor's diagnosis or a Google's diagnosis? Get the fuck out of here. And the funny thing was, then he's came back because my mate, then he's fine, and I'm thinking, and I said this to myself back once, wouldn't it be funny if I'm the one who's been Googling and I actually have the heart attack or the bad problem?
Yeah.
That was the only time I ever really thought about it. I still clearly remember it sitting on the abductor machine because that's how bad I was. What are you doing today, Grundy? I'm going to do a little abduction.
The funny thing is, you'll have none of these symptoms and you're reading it, but you'll convince yourself, I've got a heart attack or I've got cancer. But now you're actually having a heart attack. You're like, no, I don't have any of that. No, that's not me.
You're right.
That's not me.
All right, let's.
I had cystic fibrosis, narrowing of the bro. I can
all right, last comment. I got to wrap this up.
I'm going to see Guy next week, and you know what? Call Make-A-Wish Guy. We're going to fucking Disneyland. We're going to get a free trip out of this.
Fuck.
Lee's morning coffee is kicking in right now.
Sign me up.
Lee's morning coffee is kicking in.
I don't know.
All right, I got to wrap this up, but I got one more question for you, Guy. If this is indeed your last show and you die after the show's over, what would you? Can you give us like a final statement, like how you want people to remember you, and like what final words of wisdom you can impart to the world?
Don't interrupt me, Lee. Shut the fuck up and let me do it. Let me do it, Dave.
Say something.
Let him deliver his final
me,
soliloquy. He's an actor, Lee.
That's
please.
My question. I like it. I'm ready. In one word or two words, and Lee would get this. I was a good bloke.
Yeah.
I was a good bloke. I wanted stuff. I never asked anyone for it. I was willing to do what was needed. My insecurities made me who I am. So I think it's okay to realize who you're not to become who you want by, training, learning to fight. I knew who I wasn't. Seeing people like Lee and that, then I knew that's what I wanted to be. I wanted people to look at me how I looked at them. So in life, you will see things and you don't know who you are, but through life, you'll be like, I want someone to look at me like that. I want to be that guy there. So just someone who was willing to die for what he, like some people say I'm willing to die for it. I really was. Thankfully, I didn't. I believe I'm going to pull through. I believe the move that I've had is going to get really well received. And I'm going to live a different life, but I'm going to live a successful life. And this has enabled me to, and I think Dave and Lee would say, it's allowed me to see things a lot more clearly. I'm there with Maverick, my boss, on the phone. I'm like, bro, it's like I've got more blood flowing to my head. Lee will love this one. I've got blood flowing. I'm just seeing things clearly. Like, my brain's active. He goes, no, you just opened your fucking eyes for once.
I think the next movie you make...
just got onto ayahuasca.
The next movie you make, Guy, should be about the whole experience you went through, you know.
Well, not to forget that my partner in this, Maverick Von Hogg, after 37% shooting, was involved in a horrific accident where he lost his eye, lost his memory for 6 months. He's still having 22 surgeries. He came back. We shot the rest of the movie.
Right.
2 weeks after the movie's finished, I have another massive heart attack.
Right.
And we finished the movie. And the funny thing is...
Fuck being on this movie. It's cursed. I'm not coming on this shit.
I think you better stay away from that movie, Lee.
It's fucking cursed.
We got a bigger part for you, you bastard.
Fuck, I'm not doing it now. It's a cursed movie set. I'm not coming on.
I'll leave you guys with this. Guy, I'm just very happy that you're doing well. And in all seriousness,
yes.
you know, I really like you a lot. And I know Lee likes you a lot. And you know what? Take care of yourself, man. Heal up and come back stronger than ever because this world needs you.
Every day, just send me a thumbs up text every day so I know you're still with us. Just a thumbs up. I like, Guy's still there. Guy's still there.
Most people say, let me know how you're doing. Lee just says, just put a period in there or just a one, just so I know you're alive.
Yeah. I don't want you to write me something where I have to fucking reply. That takes time. Just thumbs up.
By the way, guys, if you're a friend of Lee's and you're sending this, Lee, I'm not telling many people, but I'm in the hospital. I could die, blah, blah, blah. Okay, mate, all the best.
I don't want to get...
fucking read it.
I did, but there was...
He probably didn't believe you, the guy. That's why, you know.
I did, but I would have had to pause the movie to go too fucking deep into it. I was getting emotional. Like I said, my Russ DeLuca died from cancer a week ago. Then my friend committed suicide. I said, I just can't take another bad message, so I'm just going to say, all the best. Carry on.
And the text was 7 days later as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my notifications are turned off. I don't really look too much. But just for you, Guy, I'm going to check my phone every day, so just give me the thumbs up.
Let us know when the movie is officially going to be featured in a trailer or something like that, and we'll be more than happy to talk about. We'll get you and Maverick on, and we'll talk about the movie.
Awesome. And I just want to send a shout out to my boss, Maverick. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for holding my hand through all this, and thank you for making me listen, because this is the only man. I got out of hospital. I'm going to train. I'm leaking him out. I'm going to train. I've got a program ready, and Maverick gets he just gets on the phone and has this deep talk with me, and I was like, okay. So thank you, boss, for when I'm weak, you're strong, and that's what good friends do. And thank you for the laugh, Lee and Dave. Thank you for having me on. It was an honor. When I had my cardiomyopathy, the nurse told me I was going to die. Without a lie, when I got out of hospital, a day later, I went into World Gym. I loaded the leg press up. And my wife at the time was like, what the fuck you doing? I said, the doctor said I'm going to die. I'm going to prove a point. So I loaded up with 1,000 pounds, did a couple of sets, and I went, no, I'm okay. I went home. That's how dumb we are. That's our mentality. Yeah. We're not normal people.
I've never been accused of being normal.
No.
No one's ever accused me of being normal. Look at me. Fucking hell.
Did you get Botox done, Lee?
Yes, I got Botox yesterday.
I thought so. Your head's not moving at all. I noticed.
What's that, Dave? I'm very happy.
I've been looking at you. I'm like, his head isn't moving.
Okay, John Rivers. Yeah, Lee, I need you to show more emotion. I
am. Hold on. Let me do an acting job. This is me crying for Guy because he passed away. Hold on, he's not dead. This is me happy. He's alive. He's alive.
And on that very sad note, I'm Dave Palumbo with the entire...
Do you want to see my cum? Here's my cum.
These guys don't want to let me go.
Lee, no. Let me throw quarters at you.
My cum face.
I like you, Lee, when it's very late at night there and you're tired. You're too energized in the morning over there.
That's only 7:15. I'm ready to go.
You've been up for 4 hours probably already.
And it's what time is it in America? What time is it in where you are, Dave, New York?
It's getting too late. We got to leave. It's 5 o'clock.
It's time for dinner.